The morning sun reflected brightly off the sleek, silver body of the private jet as passengers lined up to board. Among them was a striking black couple. Daniel, a successful businessman in his early 30s, dressed in a sharp navy blue suit, and his wife, Maya, in a mustard yellow power suit that made her look every bit the queen she was. Their presence drew curious glances, but their confidence carried them forward. Just as they reached the stairs to board first class, a stern airline captain stepped directly into their path. His uniform was immaculate, his cap tilted just enough to display authority. With a firm motion, he raised his hand like a barrier and barked, "Excuse me. First-class boarding is not for everyone. You two must wait." Maya froze in disbelief while Daniel's jaw tightened. Behind them, whispers began to rise among passengers. Some snickered. Others looked away uncomfortably. The sting of discrimination wasn't new to them. But this, being humiliated in front of strangers, cut deep. "Sir, we have first-class tickets," Daniel said calmly, handing over his boarding passes. The captain barely glanced at them before shaking his head. "Not possible. These must be a mistake." "Step aside." The couple stood tall, refusing to move. But instead of acknowledging their dignity, the crew began murmuring. A flight attendant leaned toward another and whispered just loud enough, "They probably can't afford this. Looks suspicious." Daniel clenched his fists, fighting back anger. Maya's eyes glistened with unshed tears, but her voice remained steady. "We have every right to board. Why are we being treated differently?" Passengers started recording the incident with their phones. Some looked outraged, others entertained. To many, this was just another scandal waiting to go viral. The captain, however, smirked and replied, "I make the rules on my aircraft. And I said, you're not boarding first class." The words hit like a slap. For Maya, it wasn't just about tickets anymore. It was about dignity. Hers, her husband's, and everyone who had been silenced by such prejudice. Daniel put a protective arm around her shoulders, whispering, "Stay calm. They don't know who we are." Before the captain could say another word, Daniel reached into his suit pocket and pulled out a sleek leather case. Inside was not only his government identification, but also a gold-embossed badge that gleamed under the sunlight. The crowd hushed. Even the crew leaned closer, curiosity etched on their faces. Daniel's deep voice carried authority as he spoke. "You are speaking to Daniel Carter, Senior Inspector of the Federal Aviation Administration." Maya stepped forward, her voice steady yet sharp. "And I am Maya Carter, attorney for the FAA's Aviation Safety Division. Every decision made on these runways passes under our review." The captain's confident smirk melted instantly. His hand, once held high in dismissal, now trembled as it lowered to his side. The murmuring crowd erupted into gasps. The passengers who had mocked the couple now stared in shock, realizing the gravity of what they had witnessed. The atmosphere shifted like a storm breaking. Daniel fixed his gaze on the captain, his words precise and heavy with meaning. "You not only discriminated against us, you violated federal policy and denied access to ticketed passengers. Do you understand the seriousness of your actions?" The captain stammered, his voice faltering. I didn't mean, I thought, you thought wrong," Maya cut in sharply, her eyes blazing. "And you did it in front of witnesses. Cameras are rolling, passengers are recording. Your arrogance just cost you more than your pride." The attendants who had laughed earlier now lowered their eyes in shame. One even whispered an apology under her breath. The couple's presence, once mocked, now commanded absolute respect. Daniel handed his badge to a nearby officer standing at the terminal gate. "This crew is officially grounded until further investigation. Safety, respect, and dignity are not optional in aviation." Silence fell across the boarding gate. Passengers who had sneered at the couple now clapped hesitantly, then louder, until applause filled the air. A little girl tugged her mother's sleeve and whispered, "Mommy, they're heroes." Maya smiled softly, squeezing her husband's hand. For them, it wasn't about revenge. It was about justice, and sending a message that dignity can't be denied. The captain stood frozen, his career flashing before his eyes as he realized who he had just insulted. The crew shifted nervously, awaiting their fate. Daniel and Maya walked toward the jet, this time with no one daring to stop them. As they boarded, Maya looked back once, her voice calm yet firm. Next time you judge someone, remember, respect flies higher than arrogance.